Welcome all. So I have not been around to do a video in a while. I felt like something was off, and I don't know, I was getting pulled back. So I decided not to do any readings to see what wanted to come through, because there was a time where I was receiving a lot of constant synchronicities when it had to do with deities and gods and goddesses, and I wasn't completely sure what that was entailing, like what that meant for me. And it took me about 4 or 5 days last week to really go within and figure out what it meant. And this could be something different for everybody. I don't know. Leave a comment, tell me what your situation is and what you've noticed. But what I'm getting is that these stories, these myths, we're going to go into Sinbad and Solomon. They're popping up in ads. They're popping up in my TV shows that I'm watching. One of my friends randomly was mentioned King Solomon, and I'm like, okay. I'm like writing down every time it's being mentioned, and I'm like, there's something here. This is the direction I need to go. So what I am picking up is that when I'm getting these synchronicities with Sinbad and Solomon, which are the current themes for me right now, I know I'm grounding myself. What I'm learning is that there is either a key element in the story of these beings that we need to be aware of that have some kind of relevance to our life in that point in time. So I have a friend who has Aphrodite constantly popping up for them. They are very much into beauty. They're a very beautiful person. They have a very beautiful soul. They have an abundance of unconditional love. So, oh, it really started raining. My advice to you is if Athena, if any kind of, if Jesus, Mary, Krishna, Buddha, if anything is coming to you and it's repetitive, write it down, look up the story, ask ChatGPT to simplify it for you. If you don't have time, I understand that time is a rare commodity these days because there is so much going on. But look it up because there is something in the story for you to know. Okay, with that said, we're going to go ahead and dive into this. I just want to be able to help others understand the synchronicities and what's being sent instead of just being like, for me, I just enjoyed it so much for the first year. I was like, ooh, like look at this. This is showing up and this is showing up. And I didn't dive deeper. I did in some cases, but what I'm learning is I was like, I want to know how to work with this energy. Where are you leading me? What do I need to be reminded of? And that is actually what I want to go into with Sinbad and King Solomon. Adventure, loving life, indulging in life's experiences and what it has to offer. But ultimately, things are about our experience. It's about having experiences and learning from them. So I'm gonna go over a little bit of this Sinbad, which is the takeaways from Sinbad's story is adventure and courage. Sinbad embarks on multiple perilous voyages facing monstrous creatures, natural disasters, and mysterious challenges. His bravery and result in the face of adversity highlight the virtues of courage and determination. And I feel like this is who I'm talking to. I'm talking to somebody who, in the face of adversity, you had courage and determination to stick to your truth. Resilience and resourcefulness. Throughout his adventures, Sinbad encounters extreme situations that always finds a way to survive and adapt. His ability to use his wits and remain resourceful teaches the importance of resilience in overcoming life's hardships. Number 3, greed versus wisdom. Sinbad's wealth grows as a result of his adventures, but the stories often present the dangers of unchecked greed. While Sinbad benefits from the treasures he collects, the consequences of seeking riches are frequently explored, urging wisdom and caution in the pursuit of material gain. Now, this goes hand in hand with King Solomon, at his, I think it's Isosceles, I can't pronounce that, but it's in the book, or in the Bible. He speaks of the pursuit of material wealth and the pleasures, because he had 700 wives, 300 concubines. He slowly strayed away from God. He slowly strayed away from his faithfulness and his devotion. And I feel like this is a reminder that things are for our liberation. They are to help us on our journey, to help our character build and mold into what we are truly meant to be, and not becoming too attached to the things that we want, or we can put it out into the universe, and if it's meant for us, if it's meant for our path, if it's meant for our best and highest good, it will be presented to us. And if it's not, we can say, okay, I didn't receive that from the universe. There's a reason why, and I'm going to let it go. Okay, the supernatural, the reoccurring presence of magical creatures, gods, and other supernatural elements reflects themes of fate, the unknown, the mysteries of the world. It suggests that life is shaped by forces beyond human control. Isn't this so cool? The hero's journey. Sinbad's narrative follows the archetype of the hero's journey, setting out from home, encountering trials, and returning transformed. It symbolizes the growth that comes from experiencing the world and facing personal challenges. So that is who you are. The person I am talking to. You have went out, you left the nest. You grew, you transformed. You learned from your life experiences that were presented to you. For me personally, when I went back home after that, I saw a lot of people stuck in their timelines. People that I went to high school with who spoke exactly like they did in high school, who never left the county. Yeah. So maybe you've picked up on this. Maybe you went back home. Maybe you're realizing how transformed you have become from leaving and going and having your own adventures. And with the King Solomon, I'm going to get into that in a second, and then we'll pull a couple cards, because the way things have been coming out since I reconnected and took some time out has been beautiful, and I'm very, very thankful for it. You have been through so many tests and trials. And if you look back on your story and all the little things that happened that you followed, those little breadcrumbs the universe dropped and you followed, be so proud of yourself that you followed those things, because it got you out of adversity. It helped you face adversity and come out even stronger. It's like you're not even looking at it as obstacles and maybe a challenge. Words can be, we have to be very, very careful with our words. But now when something comes up that instead of labeling it good or bad, there is no good or bad. We don't want to put labels on it, because if we're like, I don't really like this is bad, then the experience is going to be bad. We can just look at it and be like, okay, this isn't favorable. It's not really but there's something here. There's a hidden gem. It's just like a game. Like, oh, here's the next level. Here's this, whatever the situation is. Like, you need to collect this, or you need to overcome this trial. And once you do, there's a treasure chest. You're going to level up. And constantly reminding yourself of that, it is not an obstacle. It's just something to learn. It's like, oh my gosh, I get to learn something new. Here's something that's being presented to me. What is this trying to teach me? What is this showing me about myself? And if you have to deal with an energy that is not favorable and is like very negative, or not working from lower chakras, or maybe you notice that they're just part of the Walking Dead, they're unconscious. It's about handling it with love and grace and compassion, and reminding yourself that you were once there. There was another point and I lost it, so there must have been a reason for it. So, give me 1 second. Oops. So King Solomon. And if you look at the high priestess, you have the pillars of King Solomon, which are B and J. Also active and passive, or duality, positive, negative. We have all of those polar opposites that we can say. So, of course, King Solomon is known for his unparalleled wisdom. And if you read the story, he was, at the beginning of his life, he was very blessed. He was very devoted. He was very connected to God. God even said, like, what do you want? Tell me what you want. I'll give it to you. He gave it to him. But ultimately, you can get everything that you want and realize that it is not fulfilling. I personally have gotten things that I wanted and then did not feel satisfied and wasn't grateful while doing introspection, and ended up losing everything, because I just got to the point I was like, what is this all for? Like, why? Like, I have the nice apartment, I'm living in Hollywood, I am becoming a stunt double, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then I started asking the right questions and everything fell, and the universe was like, this is not for you. This is not where you're supposed to be. You need to learn this lesson and grasp this so that we can move you to the next location so that you can continue. But when we don't know this, it can be traumatizing. It causes homelessness. It causes you to question your entire reality and what it is that you're even going for. The nice apartment, the nice car, the show, like whatever it is for you. That was mine back in my 20s, and I had to learn very, very quickly. It wasn't that quick, but my point is that ultimately we're looking for a feeling. We aren't looking for things. Those things give us a feeling, right? Why not just ask for the feeling instead? Okay, I'm going to shut up now. So, wisdom and discernment. King Solomon is most famous for his unparalleled wisdom, which he famously received as a divine gift. His ability to make fair and wise judgments, such as in the story of the two women claiming to be the mother of the same child, highlights the importance of the wise decision-making, fairness, and the pursuit of knowledge. Is that the story where he's like, give the child to its mother or something like that? This woman is his mother. Yeah. Humility and reverence. Despite his immense wealth and power, Solomon's wisdom came with an understanding of the need to be humble before God. And I know that his famous quote is to fear God, but when I talked to ChatGPT yesterday, it identified that fearing, because I was like, you're not supposed to fear God, you're supposed to love God, because what you put out, you get back. What you reap, you sow. So if I'm going to fear God, then God is going to give me reasons to fear him. So ChatGPT broke it down that fearing, fear God, didn't always mean fear as in afraid. It's they used it as respect and reverence and understanding and obedience. Okay. And 13:13. His prayer for wisdom instead of wealth or power, as described in the Bible, demonstrates humility and the recognition that true wisdom comes from a higher source. Yes. And being thankful anytime you get an idea or you're able to accomplish something, giving thanks, because it's not just us, it's us with everything. So yeah, reverence. Solomon's reign is marked by prosperity, building the magnificent Temple of Solomon and creating alliances. His story teaches the importance of using wealth and influence for noble purposes, such as building and lasting legacy or fostering peace and prosperity for the people. But we all know that once King Solomon died, the country was split. So it's almost like having he did the right thing. He documented. And that's what we should be doing. Documenting how we feel. I have a 5-year journal, and every year I answer the same exact question from the year before. But what I'm noticing over time is that each year my answer is changing. It's the same question. The question hasn't changed, but my answer is constantly changing. And it's a 1440. It's a very interesting way to follow your consciousness and to see where it's at and what it's desiring and what it still doesn't have clarity on. Justice and fairness. Solomon's commitment to justice is emphasized through his famous judgments, which reflect his deep understanding of human nature and the law. His ability to mediate disputes and make fair decisions shows the importance of justice and impartiality in leadership. So here's the thing. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I do remember it saying that he was really good at making judgment calls for others, but not so much for ourselves. And I feel like you know that. You understand Solomon in that way. It's like you have a very deep understanding, a very deep wisdom about you because of all the experiences you have had. But when it comes to your own life, your own bubble, that's why strangers, asking people, constructive criticism, taking people's perspective at face value and seeing what it is that they are seeing, because sometimes they can bring something into our awareness that we were unaware of, that we were like, whoa, wow, okay, I think I do that, don't I? Wow, I didn't notice that. I wonder why. And when you start asking those questions, when you bring that thing to the surface, when you bring the darkness to the light and you're shining a light on it and you can become aware of it, you can find out where it's from. Where did this come from? I didn't even know I did this. 1616 on the timer. You guys have come so far. I mean, the character that has been molded and built inside of you is magnanimous. And it's through all of those tests and trials and how you handled it, how your character was perceived by spirit and the universe. And they want to help you because they love you so unconditionally. And yeah, okay. I'm like getting all giddy now. I didn't even mention this. I found this when I went to go clean my car, and if you can see, it says master key. You're finding the master key. You're unlocking something. It's almost like you're unlocking and clearing this illusion that has been placed over this world of what you should be manifesting and what you should be asking for. It's almost like cutting through and talking to people that have done this, who have been on this journey. Like King Solomon was talking at the end of his journey, what really truly matters and what really brings fulfillment. It's like you're cutting through all the bull. I've always said, like, I would love to be able, like, I feel like we were meant to go through the tests and trials we were so that our kids don't have to. They can pick up where we have left off instead of having to relearn and all of the things that we had to go through. And I know that people have to learn some things themselves and experience it themselves. I was one of those people, but it's also because this is upside down world and nothing made sense to me. And even my son, when he I'll ask him to do something and he'll do the exact opposite. I don't nag at him anymore. I'm like, oh, you see something I don't? What do you see? Show me. Oh, I get really excited. Okay, we're gonna pull a rune. I'm telling you, kids are connected to the divine. My son helped me so much during my spiritual awakening. He even gave us directions and led us to Texas because I had no idea where we were going. I felt like I was going crazy. It does. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, especially when you don't have support or you don't have people around you that have been through it before or aren't spiritually connected, then yeah, it's confusing. It's confusing and yeah, it was intense. So let's see. Oh, we have a bee. The crystal. Jera. It's a Jera. I have actually never pulled this one, but it's really funny because I was noticing, I was looking at human design and who I was matched with, and I noticed that their arrows were going in both directions. Fruition, balance, abundance, cycles, rhythms, and harmony. Cycles, that's what's real, rhythms and cycles. Something is budding. Fruition. Cycles, rhythms. Okay. Cycles. That really does kind of correlate. 1 second. And I forgot to put on music. Okay. Well, that's awkward. I don't want to keep you guys, so let me see what this is about, because I'm not going to make this too long. What are these cycles, Spirit? What wants to go along with this? Give me 3. What is a cycle and rhythm? Okay. And one more, please. Ooh, yeah. I feel like this is exactly what I just said. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse, we have the Hermit, and we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Somebody, you need to be loving and compassionate with yourself, for one. Be gracious if you've noticed you messed up, or that you skipped something, or that something was obvious. Go easy on yourself, okay? Just be grateful that you have the information now. Don't beat yourself up and be like, oh, I should have known this so long ago, and man, why didn't I see that? No, we're not doing that. We're going to sit in this moment, in this present moment, just revel in this synchronicity or this sign or this information. Thank you, Zeus, the thunder, and be grateful and thankful that you have it now, okay? Great gratitude, guys. Gratitude brings in more things to be grateful for. If you can be grateful for all the little things, guess what? It will accumulate into a big thing. But if we're sitting there like, oh, God, my shirt's all wrinkly today. Like, oh, why couldn't I have done it? If we're going to complain about every little thing, guess what? We're going to feed the loop of things to complain about. So, yeah. Show yourself some self-love. I see somebody not giving themselves enough self-love. Because here with the Hermit, we're in the year of the Hermit. Virgo, this is also going to be a very big year for growth. If you have we all have Virgo in our charts. Go look it up, see what house it's going through, see if there's any planets that are there. Look it up, Google it, go to ChatGPT. I can give you some kind of breakdown. It's better when we research these things ourselves, because you'll discover your magic. You will look these things up and you'll be like, oh my God, how is this even possible? You'll be looking at it'll be like God is speaking straight to you through a book or through I don't know, magazine, TV, a phone. It will feel like it is just for you, okay? And that's the way it's supposed to be, because you are the universe is inside you, and it wants to communicate and show you how much it loves you. But I feel like for somebody, it wants you to reevaluate what you're asking for. Why do you want these things? Because I also see a little bit, it's not, I mean, these are cups, so it's not really materialism, but it's almost like there's some kind of confusion. Like, you need to give yourself more self-love so that you can figure out what's really going to bring you happiness, because something that you might be going after, the universe wants you to know that there's I don't want to say shortcut, because there are no shortcuts, but it's almost like being reminded of something that you already know. I ask for reminders all the time. We are in human form. You know what I mean. We can forget about things and that are very important. I know that I ask for the angels and ancestors and spirit guides, my light team, anything that I have forgotten, any reminders that would benefit me at this time, I ask for you to send them to me. I give you my free will permission to send me those reminders on a daily basis of anything that I have forgotten that I need to be aware of. And again, just setting these contracts. Your words are spells. If you write, it's even more powerful. Aleister Crowley even talks about how when you write on a piece of paper, that is a spell. That's why when people are like, oh, that person's doing witchcraft, blah, 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 blah. You're doing witchcraft right now by speaking. So that when people lie, when people manipulate to control a situation to get the outcome that they want, thank you. Those are spells. They are speaking. They are doing black magic with their mouth. Magic isn't just a ceremony or a ritual. Ceremonies and rituals are, they help build energy and help direct energy in where you want it to go. It's all about intention. Everything is about intention. And when people start finally realizing that the propaganda that was put up against using herbs, using things and rocks from the earth, which is a creation of God, right? And when they deny the crystals, when they deny the herbs that come from Mother Gaia, they are denying the Divine Mother. They are denying a part of themselves. And that's why we see such an imbalance in the world right now with the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. And the men who are very tapped into their Divine Feminine, they're going towards it. The universe is like, hey, we need you to help balance out this energy that's going on your planet right now. And the men that are their soul blueprints are built for adversity, like I was saying with Sinbad, adversity. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be people that do not understand because they don't think the way that you do. But the thing is like, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. That is their prerogative. If they have a problem with it, then they have a problem with themselves. You know you. And you are standing in your power and standing in your truth and following your internal guidance and your divine light. Whatever that is for you. Wow, this is interesting. Again, with the material things, I would love an SUV, that I could drive and has great gas mileage and be able to, wait, is that really a good analogy? Okay, breaking things down, like, okay, I want this, but why do you want this? Do you feel like this is going to make you happy? But what if it doesn't? What if you get it, you work so hard, or you spend all this money, you spend all this time, and then you get it, and then you're sitting there like, wow, this isn't how I thought I was going to feel. Because you asked for the thing. And it's like, when you get things, it's like gratification, and then it's gone, right? Instant gratification. But something that's built long term, that's delayed gratification, and that is sustainable. And that is going to last a much, much longer time. So, maybe instead of asking for things, which again, they are for our liberation, they have a purpose, it's okay to want certain things to help you on your path and your mission. But ultimately, and make this known to the universe, I would like this because it would help me on my path to finding my purpose and being fulfilled. Or it will, if this, and even ask the universe, if this will help me along my path for my highest good and the best and highest good of all, please send it to me. Or I ask for you to send it to me. And patience, divine timing, guys. Everything is in a little bit delay. We can't sometimes we can instantly manifest something if it's in our vicinity and we're matching the frequency. But sometimes we have to call in that frequency and then wait to be able to attune to it and then be open and present in the moment to see the opportunities that are being brought our way. Wow, this is deep. Let's see what part of the tree of life somebody is on right now. What is it that they're soul searching about within themselves? I want to know. And this is the Tree of Life Oracle. 2954. I also feel like there's something you're not giving yourself. There's something that you haven't addressed. Actually, hold on. Let me get a clarification really quick because I just heard shadow. So if your shadow is trying to come out and tell you something, whoa. I don't usually take this many, but okay. I was going to. Spirit, my God. 8 of Cups, 6 of Swords, and the Hangman. Somebody's going to see something completely different and move away from the things that they were asking for and transition into calmer waters. I see you having a breakthrough. I see you realizing like, oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's transition and into this new perspective, this new way of viewing this adventure, this life, this experience. What is it though? There's a part of yourself that really wants you to move away from a certain way of viewing things. Never assume. That's part of the 4 agreements. Never assume. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. And I forgot the other one. What is this new perspective? Can I get something on that? I'm gonna laugh. Yeah, I just heard in my mind. If you get the High Priestess, you're not supposed to know. Okay, the 8 of Swords. Oh, so somebody's getting a new perspective on their past life situations, things that were keeping them trapped and stuck. Yeah. Which is allowing somebody to move away from the things that they don't like and that they don't want isn't ultimately for their highest good. With the 8 of Swords and the 8 of Cups and the 6 of Swords. This is transition. This is moving away from the things that are not serving you and are not helping you. And the perspective of your past experiences. And oh, I just heard somebody might. Your past experiences, that's not who you were. That's that's part of the character that was presented to you when you were born, right? Somebody needs to go watch Jim Carrey. Watch his stuff after he had a spiritual awakening. I know it seems loopy, but for us that have had a spiritual awakening, have seen the other side, have seen through the veil, you're going to know, like, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. You are not your past experiences. They were there to help awaken you in this game, to show you, like, hey, you know, you have a choice. Technically, we're all one. We are all brothers and sisters. Through God, through Creator. But those that deny it, those that work from a low vibration and victim mentality and poor me and oh, they did this to me, and that you'll get to a point where you realize that it's all about you. And that's why having that new perspective of these past life experiences and realize they weren't not supposed to happen. They were supposed to happen. And you faced adversity and you overcame that. And you're realizing what is really meaningful. It's like, instead of wasting 60 years of my life, I'm going to go see and listen to people's stories who are 10, 20 years ahead of me and what they realized about life, so that you can save time. You don't have to spend years going after something that is not going to bring you happiness and fulfillment. Go within. Play out those timelines. Imagine yourself getting all the things that you're desiring right now. And then imagine what it's like to already have all those things. Seriously, it's a mind trip. And those kinds of exercises help bring things from even our subconscious that maybe is in the unconscious that need to be brought into the light to become aware of. To save you time. All right, I'm going to close this out with the Tree of Life Oracle. Whoever you are, this is just a cycle. And maybe you've went through a similar cycle like this before, and this is Spirit reminding you, hey, you have went through these rhythms and cycles before. Remember what truly matters. Foundation. Oh my God! Spirit. Yesod. Foundation. Birth, cycles, and intuition. Oh, I love it. You could be seeing wolves. I know we just had the wolf moon. And we're about to have a full moon in Leo. I also see Divine Mother just holding and cradling the divine masculine. Do you see that? Or maybe that's divine masculine and feminine within yourself, and also the beast, Beauty and the Beast. It's almost like the trifecta. Oh my God, and I just bought a kumbachi called Trilogy. And this is like three, the feet, you know, the beast, the animal instincts, the male, the female. Oh, thank you, Spirit. I love this. Okay, number 9 on the tree of life. Yesod stands on the threshold of life and death, a place that gives birth to new ideas and new life, but also welcomes back those whose earthly journeys are over. This is the first Sephira beyond the physical plane, the closest to Earth and the one through which all must pass. It is part of the machinery of the internal and external universe. The planet is the moon. A story of enchantment as the moon moves through a cyclical journey, dwelling in the land of the subconscious. The cycles of life are measurable through astrology, and none more so than the cycles of the moon. You observe her moving through the new to full cycle every month, and she's often cited as affecting emotions, especially in her full phase. Yes, remember in a couple days, on the 12th, full moon in Leo, emotions are high, intelligence is low. Remember that. Intelligence is low, emotions are high. Be in control of your emotions. Do not react. Are you dreaming your way through something? Are you keeping an idea on hold until you feel the time is right? Are you delaying because you're too comfortable with things as they are? Perhaps you're moving from one age to another, from your first Saturn return into your second or third. Wow, Saturn is really popping up. What patterns and habits do you need to break? What is no longer acceptable to you? And where's your subconscious patterning providing illusions born of old stories you're telling yourself? Again, that new perspective of the old stories that you've been telling yourself of your life experiences. You may be increasingly aware of your psychic and mediumship energy now. How can you be more mindful of it? Write it down. Write down every single thing that you see, so you can revisit it. It's really fun. Activate. Honor your past, but see its lessons and be honest about your part in it. Know that no other being or energy made it that way. Work with the moon cycles. See how she affects you from sleep to mood. If you work with astrology, use her cycles to reveal different ways of being. Patterns, cycles. Somebody needs to pay attention to themselves, maybe even take notes of how you feel during the first phase, the second phase, the full moon, all the different phases, and just check in with yourself. Repetition and consistency can reveal a pattern that needs to be identified so that you can break this cycle, so you can gain this new perspective on these past life experiences and the stories that you're telling yourself. Because I see somebody moving away. I see somebody moving away from this way of thinking and being and identifying and divulging and really pulling out what it is that their soul is longing for. Even if you don't know, make a habit until you do find out. Put your hand over your heart, your left hand over your solar plexus here below your chest. Close your eyes and just tune it and ask. Say, soul, mind, body, soul, spirit, what do you need to feel fully optimized? How can I better love you? How can I best serve myself in all areas, in all dimensions, in all realities that I am a part of, for the best and highest good of all? What's it gonna hurt? Ask and you shall receive. You have more power than you can ever imagine. It's about disciplining yourself. It's about taking the time. I don't care if it's 5 minutes, meditate. It's the intention that you care about yourself enough that you are going to carve out that time devoted to yourself and the God within you, that light that is in you, and turning it inward. Hey, I love you. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that we're connected. Help me to see the miracles and blessings all around me every day. They're here. They're all around you every moment. But do you have the eyes to see? Do you have the heart to show gratitude and appreciation? Saturn is also reminding us about the time and limitations and mortality, acceptance of death. It makes these things, what is it? Tim McGraw, live like you're dying. They even have a Russian custom. You basically have everything. It's called like the death cleanup. So like, if you were to die tomorrow, how would you want your house and all of your stuff to be organized for your loved ones after you pass over? I know it sounds crazy, but it actually is very, very liberating and takes power away from like, oh my God, like what if I like died and this happened? It really gives you back a power that it's hard for me to explain. But it's there. So with that said, pay attention to the cycles, pay attention to what you're asking for and what is actually truly going to bring you happiness in the end, okay? I love you. The universe loves you. Everything's working out for your best and your highest good. And until next time,